Time to get agitated, Bobcat fans. It's time for BobcatTracks with Jungle Jake Ramada and Mighty Mike Schultze.
Welcome in to BobcatTracks. I know we took a week off. We're sorry about that, but we'll explain why here in a minute. But BobcatTracks, along with Mike Schultze, my name's Jake Ramada. We are brought to you by Labatt Blue and our Labatt Blue sweepstakes. Gosh, it's I can't say summer sweepstakes anymore, Schultze, because I believe today's the first day of fall.
It is.
So our now fall sweepstakes, and the fact that you can still win a Ohio football experience, all thanks to Labatt Blue. Shout out to Brody Rogers' mom.
Yep.
Brody Rogers is one of our football players. He's one of our linemen. His mother won the Penn State extravaganza.
Yes.
So
congrats to them. It was completely random.
It was.
We promise.
Yeah, there was no secret. We need to get a player's family to a football game. We swear to God, it was random. She won. So, but they're local too.
Yeah, they are.
So, yeah. But anyway, congrats to them. I heard they had a great experience. But you can still win something thanks to Labatt Blue. So the display is still at Athens Kroger. You can also apply online, scan the QR code, and sign up. There's a homecoming experience now on the line.
Yeah. A good one.
Yeah, a good one. It's for the Akron game. You have Tower Club seats. You have also a free dinner, all brought to you by, or all thanks to Labatt Blue. So scan that QR code. If you can't, if you haven't already, you still have time because you can win a homecoming experience. And Schulze, who wouldn't want to go to the homecoming game for free, especially sit in a Tower Club, which is our premium of most premium seating that you can buy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a free dinner too. I mean,
Yeah.
What else do you need on homecoming?
Yeah, all you gotta do, no purchase necessary.
And you can go to the parade beforehand, dinner after,
and then the
whole 9 yards.
Yeah, and then you can do whatever you want to
For
do
free.
on Court Street after that. Yeah,
Sure.
No purchase necessary. All you have to do is scan the QR code. That's it. So, we have to address something. Why do you laugh? I'm trying to do this justice. So I am actually leaving Ohio athletics. I had
Oxford, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to Oxford to wear red.
Yeah.
That's funny. I just made a lot of people's hearts drop.
That's tough.
No, so I got a new position at Ole Miss. I'll be doing a lot of broadcasting down there and stuff. Maybe some digital content as well. So I'm excited. But that's why we were kind of off for a little bit. We were trying to figure out what to do with the podcast. And to be honest with you, we will have an episode next week, but we're still kind of in limbo as to where the future of this goes. Schulze will still be part of it, I'm sure.
Yep.
But we're going to find a new me. And hopefully that will do justice for the future of BobcatTracks.
Yeah, I'll be around. I'll still be on the podcast. We'll probably take a little bit of a break. Next week we are going to have an episode. Bob Bolden's going to be the host with me. Jake is going to be our guest. Exit interview.
Yeah.
What could go wrong there?
A lot.
Yeah. Bob did yell at Jake about it yesterday and told him to let the talent talk.
Yeah, well, I asked what questions are you going to ask, and he said, "Shut up and let the talent talk." And I said, "All right, that's your one time that you get to pull that one on me."
So Bob and I are gonna host that final episode. We'll take a little bit of a break, regroup, try to survive without Jake. It's going to be tough, and then we'll bring it back. So we won't be gone for very long.
No,
probably make Steiner fill in. We'll probably do once every 2 weeks is what I've been thinking. I haven't told you this, so I'm breaking this to you. I'm thinking once every 2 weeks until we get somebody in your position and then figure it out. But until then, we will keep some kind of podcast content going. Behind the mic stuff's still going to go. The tailgate show is still going to be a thing.
It is.
Jake will be on the tailgate show on
Saturday.
We have a great guest lineup that I'll let Jake talk about, and we are going to continue that forever. Marty Bannister is still going to do it. I will probably fill in a little bit. Some others will fill in. I mean, you get to hear me instead, which is stinks.
I actually think you give a lot more than you think.
Sure.
So, but I think you and Marty will fit pretty well.
Yeah,
in
Marty's
tailgate
great.
show. Yeah. So, the tailgate show at Hospitality Village on Saturday. We're going to pick up at noon. We have Bob Bolden. Speaking of Bob, Sarah Peace and Ian Kellogg, who are our cross country coaches. Jenna Hall
just beat Miami.
They just
We're
beat
just
Miami.
Talk about that.
We're going to talk about that right now. Jenna Hall, softball coach, and Jeff Carlson, and the player, because they. After Friday night and Saturday, they either beat Miami or they're looking for some revenge against Miami later Saturday. So let's actually get into cross country. They're the first team of the year to kick off our Beat Miami series.
Yeah.
Kudos to them. I mean, they didn't one-on-one Miami, but they beat them in a meet. Or an invitational. Sorry, that's the correct way to put it, Schulze. But they placed higher than Miami, and I think and you know, talking with Taylor Stronada, our official cross country and track correspondent, she said that this program's in a really good position right now.
They've really taken some steps forward, and they've had a couple great showings. Want to shout out Layla Busedra, our MAC runner of the week.
Just a freshman too.
Freshman. So let me get this straight here. She's a freshman. 21.075, 6K.
Yeah.
5th fastest time ever in the 3rd meet of the year. And then she recorded the fastest 6K time ever by a freshman at Ohio University.
It's insane.
That's crazy.
And that was only like her 3rd cross-country meet, Taylor Stronada was telling me. She played field hockey in high school.
She ran in high school, but she didn't. She was on field hockey. She was a high-level field hockey player. She focused on field hockey in high school, and now she was good enough to refocus to cross-country in college, which is crazy to think that you can compete at a high level, 2 different sports.
Yeah.
So she's going to get better. She hasn't really focused on cross country. Now she has high level collegiate coaching. The sky's the limit.
Yeah, of course. So moving on from cross country, move on to volleyball. They are playing this weekend against Miami. Should promote that. Support Ukraine night. Christy Frank, Anya Harchevska, excuse me, and our GA Lena. They're all from Ukraine. They're all from Kyiv. So come out, support them, and also hopefully Bobcats take on it and beat Miami. Anything else from volleyball? I know they dropped 2 of 3 in their last weekend at Butler. They swept Butler, took Mizzou to 5. I mean, boy, it was close. Yeah. Those a couple sets they lost, they only lost by 2, and then they fell to Notre Dame. So
yeah, that's a tough schedule. I mean, that's a tough 3. I mean, Butler's a good team to beat. It'd be a Big East team, high level, equal conference, and then Missouri and Notre Dame. Missouri took the wire. Missouri in the SEC is always phenomenal.
Yeah.
When I was at Kentucky, it was Kentucky, Florida, Missouri, and they were, that Kentucky-Missouri game was always on the big game. So the fact that they fought hard with a high-level SEC team is great to see. And they've gotten, you've seen the progression in our volleyball team over the first 4 weeks of the year. And it's going to be a really good measuring stick against a decent Miami team coming into town this weekend to see what they can do in MAC play.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving from volleyball, let's go to football. A couple of losses at Penn State, at Iowa State, but hey, we have Parents Weekend now, this weekend against Fordham, and a weekend hopefully in which the Bobcats football team can bounce back.
Yeah, slow starts in both of them. 2 high-level teams. Penn State is going to compete for a Big Ten title. Iowa State's going to compete for a Big 12 title. So 2 very good Power 5 teams back-to-back, which is pretty tough to do.
Yeah.
Ohio got slow starts in both games. You did see them get better throughout the games. Like what I saw out of Parker Navarro, the first game, he got some reps in. Curtis played pretty well. The defensive line at Penn State, 5 sacks, phenomenal. Got pressure, got around a Big Ten line, took down a Big Ten quarterback. Very, very good to see. So Fordham, FCS opponent, good FCS opponent, nationally ranked. They have a draft pick quarterback. Score a lot of points, give up a lot of points. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of team they are coming into Athens, and it's going to be interesting to see how we respond after playing 2 very high-level Power 5 teams on the road. And I know Tim and I know the team is happy to be back home in Payne Stadium.
Let's move on to soccer. At the time of taping, they're playing Kent State. That's a bit of a revenge game after what took place against the Golden Flashes. After what took place with the Golden Flashes last year, and then they're home Sunday against Buffalo. So 2 winnable games, and hopefully Aaron Rodgers and company can end the weekend going into next week 2-0 in MAC play. I mean, they're the MAC favorites. So
yeah, not the most favorable MAC schedule to start. Kent State, obviously went to the championship game last year. And beat us in the semifinals, and we had that epic 1,000-fan 0-0 tie. And then Buffalo's 33rd in the RPI right now.
Wow.
Yeah, very high level. Also one of the favorites to win the league. So really, I was talking to Aaron yesterday, and he thinks Buffalo's going to be finish top 3 for sure.
Wow.
So a really, really good test early on. That's one way to look at it. A little tough, but Kent State tonight, 7 o'clock, no stream.
How? Kent State should figure that out.
You're on your last week.
I'm keeping that in there. They should figure it out. There's no excuse to not stream these things anymore. I'm sorry. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, sheesh. And then Buffalo, here, 1 o'clock Sunday, huge match. I mean, it is a huge match, and we are streaming it.
Yes, because we have figured it out. Shout out Jordan Bose. Field hockey. They're actually on the road at VCU this weekend in Richmond. That's going to be a pretty fun and entertaining Sunday.
Yeah, I'm jealous. They are at Richmond. They also have a road game before that, Jake.
Oh,
Friday.
Sorry.
They're in Farmville, Virginia. How could you forget Farmville?
Yeah.
They're at Longwood. That's a MAC game.
Oh, yeah.
They are 0-1 in the MAC. They lost to Miami last week, and then they did go on to beat Queens University of Charlotte, soon to be MAC school in field hockey, and soon to be Division I in all sports. I think next year.
Okay.
Somebody will have to double check me on that. But yeah, we do play at Longwood 6 p.m. Friday, ESPN Plus for that one.
Nice.
That's streamed.
Yeah.
Very cool. And then at VCU, not a MAC game. There in the A10 in Richmond. And that is also on ESPN Plus.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Streaming makes the world feel smaller and go round. That's about it, right? I know golf competed this week, and they were in a pretty tough field. Cross country, men's and women's back in action next weekend.
Yep.
So I think we're pretty good. We've covered pretty much everybody. No, we haven't. Swim and dive. Green
how
and whites.
could you forget swimming and diving?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's a good inside joke. Yeah, they compete against themselves on Friday, and that's it.
Yeah, it's good to have them back.
Yeah, it is.
When's their first? We don't want to call it real meet.
Yeah, no, they will swim against. They're in Blacksburg, so Virginia Tech and Georgetown the first day of October, so October 1st. That'll be next weekend. That basically covers it. Let's go to our guests today, Sam Steele, Tria McLean, two veterans. Gosh, it's just weird to me to call them veterans because I remember them when they were young.
Yeah, you're old.
Yeah, I am. So two charismatic young women, and I think this will be an interview that you're going to enjoy. Talk Beat Miami, talk about life, talk about a lot of other things too. So with that, and further ado, that didn't make sense, but here's Sam and Tria. Sam, Tria, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thanks for your time. I know you guys practice in, like an hour?
Yeah.
So what are the odds that Jeff yells at you guys that you're late to practice because of this interview? Just what are the odds?
Today actually is low because we're starting a little bit later because it's the day before a game. So today it's low. Any other day, yeah, we'd probably get an earful.
Well, yeah, that's fine. You guys will get yelled at, but I
I
think we would get something too. We would get a sternly worded email of some sort.
Yeah.
So
we would totally throw you guys under the bus.
Yeah,
100%.
Well, you should. That did happen actually a couple weeks ago with a couple football players, but we're not going to get into that. So anyway, this week,
football coach was not happy.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with us. Anyway,
he wasn't not happy. I want to be very clear on the record.
Can-
He was more like, hey, get them in their meetings.
Beat Miami this weekend. The whole thing. You've already seen the cross country team right now. They hold the brick. They're ready to pass off to you guys this upcoming weekend. But last year, you beat Miami twice, and you did it at Millett Hall, which is tough. But it's a hard place to play. It's a hard place to win. So what did that mean to you guys last year, taking those two wins on the road in Oxford?
I think it was extremely exciting. The first night we're like, yes, we beat them, and then the second night was like the most exciting thing ever because I don't know if you guys remember, but it was the fifth set, and we were like down match point like 4 points maybe, and we came back, and that was like so exciting, especially for our seniors to go out with a win, 2 wins against Miami.
It also helped that it was their senior night, so we just did not want them to have that satisfaction.
Yeah.
So it was definitely, we were going in there to win just to ruin their senior night.
Oh boy. But that is brutal. Because
what were they up in the fifth set?
They were up by like 4.
And they almost had match
and it was
point like
close.
3 times. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 12, like 8 or something like that. And we were like, wow, this is rough. Because I think Liv, like, we were down already by like 3 or 4, gets hit in the back of the head by a serve. And we're like,
oh yeah, I know that was bad.
That one was rough because I thought it was going to go downhill from there.
So they're going to be thinking about that obviously going into this weekend. Yeah. So what do you guys have been doing this week? Because obviously that's got to be in the back of your mind too that they're like, this is what they did to us last year, and now it's our turn to do that to them as well. So what's the attitude been like coming into this weekend?
I mean, building off of last week, we talked a lot with Jeff and the coaches about trying to work on the little things, is that we're doing a lot of really good things. We're playing a lot of really good volleyball. we just lose points here and there just for little simple things that we can easily fix. So it's been working a lot on that, and staying aggressive, playing our game, just because we know if we play how we've been playing these last few weeks, like, we're going to beat them and we will have no problem.
And this week we've definitely been focusing like all on ourselves. Like the topic of Miami hasn't come up like a whole lot because we know like if our side is fine, then it's not a big deal. So that's been the main focus, is just our side.
Well, that ruins my follow-up question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Does Miami mean more? Does the rivalry mean? What does the rivalry mean to you?
I mean, yeah, it means a lot because we know how big it is to like our program, and like our athletic director, I know she like puts special emphasis on beating Miami. And I saw the brick in the media. I didn't know that was a thing, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so exciting.
Yeah,
so.
so you get to sign it. You're gonna get to sign it, but like we did the stickers last year, you get to sign the brick. Cross country will be there, so like to give you the brick if you beat Miami or when you beat Miami, and then you guys, if you beat Miami, we'll hand it to the next team, and that's the on-run.
That's the tradition now. So, let's get off this topic for a little bit.
Sure.
There's some festivities going on around the match too. Obviously, with Friday, it's Support Ukraine Night, and your teammates Christy, Anya, and also Lena of the GA. It's got to feel pretty cool that you guys are also behind them in this too, and you guys want the charities to come on out and support their support what's been happening to them, because it's so intense over there and what's been going on. So what's that mean to you guys, that you guys can be there for your teammates?
I think it's great that we can have something like this because it is very hard what they're doing coming over here, but they've been great to have. Like, they're great like role models, and how they carry themselves is like very like inspirational to our team, so it's nice to be able to like recognize that and show that to everyone else. Yeah,
I think also seeing how excited they are to have a game for them, for everyone back home for them, I think is really cool, really special. So they kind of get to have like their own little moment of, we came here and now we're building something here, and this is really great. We're proud to be part of this family and this culture.
It's got to feel pretty cool too to help them transition. Well, Chrissy's been in America for a little bit, but I know Anya is not so much.
She's pretty new,
she's pretty new. So what have you guys done to help her transition into the American life that is what you guys experience every day?
I mean, I think one of the funniest things is when like she talks about like the first food that she's had, the first American food that she has. She's like, oh, I had fast food from here and I had there. And one day we saw her walking around with her Starbucks, and Jeff's like, wow, look at her being a real American now. And it's kind of cool to just watch that. She's slowly, getting into it, and I think it's cool.
What was the food? What was her first fast food?
I want to say it was like McDonald's or something.
It was something like that. It was very basic.
It was so basic American that we were all just like, yup.
Did she like it?
I think she liked it a lot.
She liked it. It was in the airport. So as good as airport food can get in America, fast food, So, yeah.
Have you given her recommendations on where to go? Like, this is the best burger, in my opinion. This is the best deal. Yeah. What have you guys told her?
Well, Jeff already has us trying a whole bunch of different stuff all the time. So she gets to
that makes sense.
Try, like, whatever. But we've always, like, brought up different, like, oh, you should try this. Like, this is on court. Like, that's an easy walk. Like,
awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't imagine trying McDonald's for the first time.
It is kind of weird.
Like, it's so strange.
Yeah. But I mean, we would be in her shoes if we went somewhere else. Just like we're plopped down, and all of a sudden.
Right.
Has she brought any food or anything like that, like here, that she made some food?
Yeah, they actually all made like a honey cake, like a Ukrainian honey cake, and brought it on the bus, and it was so good.
It was for Jeff's birthday. Yeah. So we were traveling to Indianapolis, so there wasn't really anything that like we did for Jeff.
Yeah.
So they made Ukrainian honey cake and like gave that to him, so we all got to try a little bit of it.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was. It was really good.
You're both from Nebraska.
Yep.
Did you know each other before you came here?
Not at all.
Really?
Not at all.
So can you help people like me who don't know anything about the state of Nebraska? Battle Creek in Omaha, right? Yeah. How close are they?
So I'm from Battle Creek. Obviously, Omaha's like massive city, like heart of Nebraska. I'm 2 hours north.
Okay.
I'm a really small town of like 1,200 people.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So we didn't know each other, obviously.
No, we did not.
Did you play each other in club?
No, I've like seen her at club tournaments, maybe, but
maybe like one time, like that was it.
Yeah,
which is kind of weird, but
yeah. I was gonna say, because normally, like even with student athletes that even like they're from the general area, like they've played each other in a high level
Right.
high-level club.
Yeah.
That's so funny, though.
What club did you play for?
I played for Nebraska Elite, so I had to go to Omaha to play club. So,
Sure.
like, same
Okay.
city, but still
Yeah.
didn't.
Is that hard?
Yeah, it was a lot. I also did, like, basketball and track, so I did all of it, so it was, like, a lot, but
Yeah,
it's
how do
great.
you have time to drive to practice?
I did. Like, right after school, I'd leave and drive to practice, and then I'd get home at, like, midnight twice a week.
How'd you do homework?
It was great. I'm just a stellar student. I didn't have homework.
Does that hold true still?
I mean, no. But I still do my homework.
Dang,
I would do the homework during school, so I was on top of things.
Sam just putting you on the spot
She,
like
she
that.
knows. We
Hey,
live together. She
yeah,
knows.
she always does this.
Oh,
Did
okay.
you know that?
There's a whole other conversation that we can have.
Well,
So when you guys first got here, then like, how'd you guys interact with each other? You're like, oh, was it like the Spider-Man meme where you guys were like both looking at each other, like, wait, you're from Nebraska too? Like, what'd you guys?
I mean, we knew we were both
Oh,
from
okay.
Nebraska. We talked before.
We went to camp together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were roommates.
Yeah. there
camp
too.
here?
Yeah.
You guys came from Nebraska just to come to camp here?
It was after we
Yeah.
committed.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
okay.
that's
Okay. Is that normal?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
normal.
that's
Okay.
normal.
Didn't know
thing,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
I don't know.
volleyball
It was
players
normal.
recruit or commit earlier than most sports too, correct?
I
Yes.
think so.
So what year did you commit?
I was 15.
I think it was my sophomore year.
How do you?
crazy.
I was much later this year. I think it was like
I
a
was
year
the
or
first
so
in our
later.
class. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how are you 15 years old already thinking about college?
They're good.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
I
glad
guess
you were. I wasn't.
I don't know. That was just like my club. Like that was just super normal to like
Interesting.
recruit and commit super early. Like if you didn't commit by the time of your junior year, it was like considered late.
Yeah,
like,
no, if you
it was
didn't commit
weird.
by the time you were a junior, it was like, oh, you're bad.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
like that was the entire
Oh.
until they changed the recruiting rules.
Yeah.
Like this,
Yeah.
like last 2 years or so. If you didn't commit by like your junior year, like you were just not good at volleyball. Like you weren't going somewhere good.
So when'd you commit?
I want to say it was my sophomore year.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so they changed the rules about when, and I don't know the rules exactly, but they changed the rules. So the
Yeah.
volleyball they're recruited at a little bit later
Yeah.
age.
Yeah, I think it's like your junior year now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
when
they
you can
changed
start
it.
like talking to coaches.
Yeah.
So
Which
that-
is probably for the best. We probably
Oh,
I
should.
agree
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
I wish that would have been
It was
the
a
case.
lot, especially when you're little.
Because I mean, at that young, like you're thinking about your like driving school. You're not thinking about
Yeah.
where I'm
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
college and what my major
Or
is going to be.
just high school in general.
Yeah.
Just whatever
Yeah.
you were doing. I have distinct memories of sitting at my kitchen table writing recruiting emails for hours, and I just hated that. It
my
was
mom
terrible.
did mine.
Yeah. That's
That is
actually
unrelatable.
that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure at 15, like you don't know how to talk to a.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they're like a Hall of Fame college coach and you have like one typo,
You got
they're
to
like,
figure it out.
Yeah, that's just that's
Yeah.
got to be hard. And right, it has to be intimidating.
Yeah,
Right?
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I wasn't gonna be good at it. My mom did most of mine, but I mean, I had to talk to them still on the phone.
My parents were
I
At
hope-
15, I was nervous.
I would hope that you talk to them on the phone.
Mine would have been the same way.
Mine said,
you
"No,
wanna go to
I'm not.
college?"
You can
Yeah.
do that yourself."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to do my own film myself too.
Oh, really?
Horrifying.
Yeah, and I'm sure like when you're that young, it's hard to think about. Is this the only? Well, at the time, was this the only sport where you were allowed to be like recruited at that age and like
Well,
I mean,
I
and
don't
talked
think
to
so.
or
I don't think
No.
so.
because
no?
I was playing soccer all the way up through high school,
Okay.
and I was getting recruited for that too, probably
Oh.
at the same age, maybe even younger.
Oh,
How
wow.
high level of soccer could you have played?
I don't know. I didn't. It was like I'd get the emails and be like, okay, cool, like I'm not gonna play. Like,
So you knew you wanted to play volleyball?
yeah.
Were you just better, or did you like it more, or what was?
I think
when did
it's
that seem-
partially that I thought I was better at it.
Yeah.
Partially because my mom played in college. She played at Northwest Missouri State. She was a setter. My sister played all the way up until college, so it was kind of just in the family at that
Yeah.
point. I'm like, okay,
So
I
you
should
really
do that.
you really just didn't want to be the black sheep, is what you're saying.
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
No,
I also thought about it long and hard, and I said, I'm not sure I want to have to run that much in
Yeah,
college.
that's also fair.
So that just didn't sound like
Good
my
choice.
thing. As much as I like running sometimes, that just didn't sound like
Does
fun.
Jeff
Yeah.
make you run?
But sometimes,
Like, is that a?
if we do something
Yeah.
wrong, we have to
How-
run.
Yeah.
But
Is
it's
it
not
common or
bad.
no?
It's more common in the spring and summer to run, but during
Yeah.
season, not a whole lot.
Yeah, the only time we really run now is if we let a ball drop and he doesn't like that. He tells us to run to the wall and back.
I mean, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah,
not
it's
terrible.
understandable.
Yeah. So Tria, you played played basketball and you ran track.
Yes.
Did you ever entertain the idea of not playing volleyball? Or
never. I didn't do like club for them, so like it wasn't.
Yeah.
I did have to quit basketball after my sophomore year to like do club volleyball, but I stayed with track all through high school.
What'd you run?
I ran 400 hurdles and high jump, sometimes an 800. We had a really good track team. Like we went to state every year. So like,
you ran the hardest event.
Yeah, no, it was awful.
I love
But it was fun.
Yeah,
but like
that's the only one that I would run.
Ugh.
the what?
I would run
That's
the
the hardest
400 in the
one.
medley. I'd
Oh,
run
that
the
was
400,
awful.
like
The 800's
regular,
worse than
the
the 400
4x4.
I did run the 4x4 too.
I don't know. That was my thing.
Yeah.
It's the hardest event in track.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
fun.
I commend people who just like love to run. I don't understand
Yeah.
it.
I used to.
I used to.
That's love to sprint. I mean,
I also
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
now that I've gotten
Sprint.
older.
Now that I'm older, it's like if I don't need to, I'm not going to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it like being veterans on this team? Because I feel like I remember when I was here in grad school, I think is when you guys were, at least it would have been, I think the year before you guys both got here. What's it like to be veterans and like looked up to now?
It's weird.
It's weird because I don't think of myself as a veteran. I
don't think-
still
I
think
think
of myself
because
as
of-
little. Yeah.
Yeah, because of our COVID year, where we had like a
Oh, yeah.
half of a season. It does not feel like I should be a junior right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
So
at
the
all.
fact that Jeff's like, you're an upperclassman, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
like,
And that weird had to throw off so much.
mhm.
I mean, yeah, it's just weird to think about. Because I would kind of feel that way too. Like, do I really have all the playing experience that I should have right now? Because it's just weird. And I'm sure that's got to be weird for you
Right.
guys too.
Yeah. It
Um,
feels like a missing year almost. Like,
yeah.
You
I
did
also
get it
just,
back.
I haven't
Yeah.
come to terms with the fact that I'm a
I'm a
junior.
junior. Yeah,
at this
not at
point,
all.
And that I have like one more year left of school, and then I have to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. So,
So do you have
Yeah.
2 years of eligibility left after this, or 1
I
year?
think so.
Yeah.
Technically, we have two.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Because you can use that. Yeah.
The
Okay,
fifth
but-
year, like
yeah.
COVID year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you haven't thought about that yet.
No.
You gotta talk
We're
about
just going with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't blame you at all.
I have no idea.
I'm sure that's such a hard decision though. Like, do I stay
Right.
or do I finally start the career, like my career path?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's gotta be tough to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't gotten there yet.
I haven't
Yeah,
given
you
a
got
whole
time.
thought.
We're going
Yeah.
day by day. I barely know what I'm
Yeah.
doing tomorrow. I
Well-
mean, I know I got a game here at
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
That's
But other than that,
I've got an idea.
That's
we gotta
about
do
it.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
that's,
Honestly,
that's all I got.
if I were in your shoes, I'd be thinking about that. The match, and not spilling. What? So you were in microbiology this morning. You were saying not spilling germs on tables. Right?
Yeah,
For
not
lab?
not spilling E. coli everywhere.
Oh,
Yeah, we play with E. coli every day.
what's that like?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Sometimes it smells really bad.
Yeah, that makes sense.
One of the people across from me splattered E. coli all over her face, so she. Had
Oh.
to- yeah, it was a good time.
What's the protocol for that?
Well, they first said, "Well, did you get it in your eye?" "Oh, you should be fine. You didn't get it in your eye."
Okay.
So then she just had to wash off her entire face
Okay.
because there was E. coli.
Did she have to wash her eye out?
Well, she didn't get it. If she got it in her eye,
But
then yeah.
it was close, wasn't it? Like
It just
There's not like a.
there's no with E. coli.
Well,
Like,
there.
well, it's not gonna kill you.
no.
Well,
but you don't.
so gross.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a part of that. I don't think.
Yeah.
Still.
Well, I asked,
Probably not.
I
but-
asked protocol because like when you think about that, like a lab spill or something, like alarms go blaring and like
Yeah.
code red,
Yeah, no.
everybody step away, kind of thing.
No, we've
It's
had
just a-
we've had many people break beakers and stuff, and it's fine. They're just like, "Oh yeah, we'll
Clean
just clean it up," and then they sanitize it, and you're like, "Okay."
Yeah, just a little
So
Lysol wipe
that's
and.
fine. Well,
Okay.
normally it's like actual like purified like
Oh.
germ.
Oh. So Lysol
That's
is
even
what you're
better.
saying.
Lysol wipe.
Okay, so
No,
Lysol
but
is not.
it's the
okay.
same. It's the same idea.
It gets
You
rid
know.
of 100% of germs instead of 99.9999.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
awesome. So, is that your favorite class then, or? Because wait, what's your major?
Biology.
Okay, obviously.
What do you want to do?
I'm thinking field ecology, marine biology, something like that. I gotta be doing something all the time, so preferably something new. So being out in a field somewhere
Yeah.
would be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, yeah. So studying E. coli and other stuff like that, it makes sense to.
So, yeah, I mean, I'd rather not study E. coli personally,
Yeah.
but
Somebody needs to do it.
I get
Yeah,
it.
someone-
I understand it.
Someone has to do it just in case.
Yeah.
So, Tree, we talked about yours is psych.
Yep.
You have a cool class that's taught by a cop.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about that? Because that's so fascinating.
Yeah, I didn't like. I signed up for it because I needed arts and science credits. I'm like, oh, criminology, that sounds so cool. And I like come in the first day and I'm like, oh, it's just gonna be like a normal professor. But she's like, I'm a cop here at OUPD. I'll be your teacher. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And then as it's gone on, she's like, yeah, once this is over, you guys can all like come shadow me. And she like tells us about like the weekends here at OU and like what happens and like tells us all the cool stories. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
All right,
cool story.
Well,
Who's it cool for? The cops or the kids?
Like what they did, like what students have done over the weekend that you don't need to hear about.
Yeah.
Wait, so okay, you just opened up a can of worms here. We need to know what what is kind of podcast appropriate. Remember, our athletics director is listening.
Yeah.
Story that you can tell.
Well, she came in and she goes, this was like a record welcome weekend. Congrats, guys. And she's like, someone stole someone's car. And we're like, oh,
I remember
fun.
you telling me that.
No
I was
way.
just kind of staring
And
at
I'm
you,
like-
and I was like, what in the world?
Was it like was it a hot wire situation or just somebody
Hot wire.
or
I-
just someone's car?
Can you even do
They
that
just
anymore?
like stole it and it went
Car.
missing.
Yeah.
And then they
Old
like
cars,
found it
man.
somewhere
found it.
random. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's just
that
like,
guy
yeah.
had to have gotten caught. Guy or girl? They had to have gotten caught.
I think so.
Yeah.
You think
I don't
Steiner
think
knows
college.
that cop?
I don't think college students are smart enough to not
To
get
hop-
caught.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
They
Like-
definitely did.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
you have
It's
to-
Athens.
Yeah, you have to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
It's Athens.
So that's actually really funny. Does she show up to uniform every practice or?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So
That'd be kind of cool though.
what's like what are some cool takeaways that you've learned in that you can tell the people? Because I
Yeah.
feel like that'd be like a really cool class. Even though I was a journalism major,
Yeah.
like I would just
Yeah.
I would just take this class just because.
Well, she liked to like lead the class like with like life tips and stuff. So she like tells us like how to act in the presence of a cop, what to do if you get caught doing something illegal, or
okay.
like just like putting yourself in safe situations. So it's a lot of like good like life lessons, like
Yeah.
just for safety and learning.
So it
it's
should
been
be college 101.
informal. No, it is.
should-
I
it
think
should
like
be.
college students should
Should be
take
called-
it.
Everyone
It's like
at Athens
basic
should have
stuff
to
that
take
like
it.
you should know.
Yeah.
So it's been great.
Yeah. So and it's also probably good to have a cop on your side. And
Yeah, no, I'm like I want to be friends with her.
Yeah, I bet.
My plates got stolen. My license plates got stolen my senior year of college here, and they still call me every year and ask if I found them.
No.
Nope.
They're probably in the bottom of the Hawking somewhere.
They're probably in somebody's car.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
Probably.
true.
yeah.
So you guys were talking a little bit about leadership and not being accustomed to being veterans. I know I talked to Jeff a little bit about a conversation he had with you about like stepping up and like we need your personality and not just like your skill.
Yeah.
What's that like to, I guess, go into a season and you're like, wow, I have to evaluate like a lot of my leadership skills and just kind of have that come to Jesus moment where like now my personality also needs to like step up as well as my playing skills.
I think I already knew that was gonna happen.
Oh, okay.
Jeff's been kind of like pointing at it for a while since last year. Hey, now that Maggie's gonna be gone, somebody has to step up, you know. So it's been heading in that direction. I think part of it's like a relief to be like, let your personality out in the court.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I don't think it's that hard for me to do that.
Yeah.
You ask anybody on the team, I'm a little bit crazy.
Just a little.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Some people refer to it as hyper, but I normally refer to myself as crazy. So I don't know. It makes it more fun. I definitely have a little bit more like leeway of like trying to get the team going and different stuff. So
Yeah. I mean, how would you describe her personality, Tria?
I mean,
Other than crazy, obviously.
I don't want to say
'cause-
crazy. She's very full of energy, and I love it when she like lets it on the court because it makes everyone else laugh, and like her energy brings everyone else energy, and she's just fun to be around.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you the person that like after a point when you guys all huddle, you say something hilarious and like everybody like goes back to their positions? Or
Yeah, sometimes she does, and it's pretty funny.
It's hard to keep that up the entire match.
yeah, depending.
Yeah.
But when things get rough, I just make a lot of smart aleck comments and
Yeah.
then normally
Yeah.
get back to where it's
Directed
supposed
at
to be.
who?
It depends.
Anyone.
If you hit a ball under the net, it's gonna be that's supposed to go over, right?
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
You know.
I feel like every team needs that person though.
Yeah.
You know. How would you describe Tria's personality on the court? Uh-oh. That look says it all.
I would say she's a little bit more like reserved and quiet, but she definitely has a good like leadership presence on the court. Like, we know she's in charge of things on the court and kind of shows that. And yeah,
But everyone needs that calm, collected kid.
Yeah.
You know. I feel like there's so much value to being that person, just because. Yes, you have the Energizer Bunny, but also you need to have the person that can contain the Energizer Bunny in a jar when needed.
Yeah,
you know?
we're like
So-
opposites.
yeah, it
Yeah.
works.
It
But
works.
but it works,
Yeah.
and I'm sure it works well being roommates too at times as well?
Yeah, there's actually 3 other girls on the team that are our other roommates.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's a lot. There's 5 of us.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind
So
of
it's
pretty.
a full house, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Literally,
We keep it interesting.
literally, it is a full house. I
know.
would assume. So, when you guys aren't playing volleyball, it's just you 5 in the house. Like, I mean, you guys watching Netflix? You guys just like cranking music? Are you guys just like going for walks, or what do you guys do?
Everything.
A bit of everything.
Family dinners, maybe. Like,
We
what-
actually-
Sometimes
have family dinners
we do
sometimes.
cook
Okay.
dinner. We're into video games. We play Call of Duty as a house.
Wait,
and
no way.
It gets
Yeah.
absolutely wild.
It's really bad. We
Nice.
just
It
start
gets
yelling at each other.
wild.
Okay. So you guys ready for Warzone 2.0? Is that your?
We play the same one game.
We play. Well, we.
Wait.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Nice.
Oh, whoa! That's
we
a
stick
throwback.
with it. Yeah.
We
stick
with
with
that,
Nuketown.
and we verse each other. Like, yeah, we do.
It's
it
great.
causes fights. But
Yeah, we yell at each other a lot.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Then we need breaks from each other a little bit because sometimes we get a little too heated. But
Yeah.
it's okay.
So Black Ops 2 is that
360.
that's 360 or in PS4?
It's like-
right?
No,
Or-
Xbox
it's on
One.
Xbox One.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a 360
They can
game, but
play
it works on the
it.
Xbox
Yeah.
One.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you guys play online, or you guys just like split screen it? Like
Split
It's
screen.
split screen the whole house, and
Really?
we're just playing.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's a good
wow,
time.
that's actually kind
It's
of
a
fun.
good time.
So you don't play online, is what you're saying?
No.
No. Okay.
Every once in a while, someone goes off on a tangent. We end up watching someone play zombies.
Yeah,
You know-
zombies does get brought up.
Yeah, I have a lot of long hours of playing zombies with my buddies growing up.
Yeah.
When I was in high school,
Yeah.
like till like 5 in the morning with like
Yeah.
a 2-liter thing of Pepsi and just
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
just,
we're old though. That game.
Yeah,
was
we
out,
are.
like,
Yeah.
when we were in
God, I can.
high school.
There are probably at least like 4 Call of Duties that have come out since then. We're
More
we're
than that.
big. We're nerds. We have a problem.
Yeah, me
I
too.
mean, that game
So.
came out in 2012. I was in college.
Wait, so why this one game? What's the story behind this one game? 'Cause
Freshman year, man.
I brought my
Freshman
Xbox,
year.
and that was like the only game I had. I think I took it from my brother when
Yeah.
he left. So like,
oh, he had to be mad at
And
you.
well,
Yeah.
freshman year, that's like
that's
we would
all we
just do-
did.
We would
'Cause
just do
we
that
were-
all the time.
it was
We couldn't
COVID.
do
We were in
anything.
quarantine,
Oh,
so
yeah,
we
that's
just
right.
So
we
it
played
was
video games.
Yeah.
it was us two, and then Elizabeth and Macy. We'd all go to normally Elizabeth's room,
yeah.
and we'd sit around and play Call of Duty.
A lot until
lot.
like 3
Yeah.
a.m. too.
Yeah, because we had nothing else to do.
But that's all
Yeah.
you can do because, I mean, God forbid you
Yeah.
leave your dorm and,
yeah.
yeah, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're patient 0, which you don't want. So,
Yeah.
but really, so you never thought about getting at least one more game with this?
Well, we have other games.
Oh.
We
Like
also have
Minecraft.
the Wii.
We have Wii.
We have the Wii. So
We
we
have
have like
played
a
Wii Sports,
ton of games
yeah.
with the Wii. We
Okay.
play Mario Kart.
What's your
Yeah.
best Wii sports game?
I like tennis personally.
Tennis.
I really like tennis, but I'm pretty good at bowling too. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Mario Kart, I'm sure those get heated.
Yeah,
I do like my Mario Kart.
Sam does. Like
Who's the best
Kart.
Mario Kart player in the house?
Not me.
I have no idea.
Really?
It's always like back and forth. I feel like.
Okay.
Yeah. Liz is pretty competitive.
This is
yeah.
yeah. Liz
She's pretty
gets
competitive.
Liz gets after it sometimes.
Yeah.
I get a little scared.
Oh.
Yeah.
She seems like a competitor, even out on the court. I mean, I feel like she's kind of like you on the court a little
Yeah,
bit.
no,
a little
she is.
even-keeled, but
Yeah.
but
Her
she's
personality
It's
gets brought
really-
out in games.
Yeah. When we play video games, she's not quiet.
really.
She does
No.
not like to lose.
That's
No.
actually
Yeah.
No.
who is someone that is so a little bit like Liz in the sense that like maybe on the court there's somebody completely different than they are off the court.
Maybe Liv. Liv's pretty like calm
Yeah.
on the court.
I would say that would work.
Yeah.
But off the court she's
Off the court, she has personality for sure.
yeah.
She's pretty funny.
It's just
Yeah.
funny. Every time I do interviews with her, she's always like how she's on the court. She's just even keeled and just like, yeah, it's whatever. I don't really care. But like off the court, she's
Yeah.
like, hey Jake, what's up? I'm like, Liv. Like, where's this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where was this in the interview? Like her dad came up to me. He was like, next time you interview her, you have to just say Talladega Nights to her. I'm like, what? He's like, she loves Talladega Nights. I'm like, what? Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. And so then he told me a background story, and I'm like, Liv, really? Because like every time I talk to her, she's just like this, just
Yeah.
flatline. So it's
Yeah.
cool to hear
Yeah.
that. It's really cool to hear that.
I have a legitimate
Yeah, no, go
volleyball
ahead.
question
Yeah.
before you go. Is it how do you manage jumps? Because you can only jump and cut so many times in practice.
I don't jump. I don't have to manage anything.
I jump
just
every
throw
ball,
myself
but we
on the
don't
floor.
count them.
Okay.
You don't count them.
No. I'm a setter, so it's a
Yeah.
half a jump.
Jeff
It's fine.
says he has a count in his head. I don't know how much truth there is to that.
And I don't know what the number is that we cut off.
Yeah, he always just says, I'm keeping track of them. I'm like, we're good. And
So
we're like,
November,
yeah, for
does
sure.
your body hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
a little.
How many
You feel the
floor
growing
How many
pains.
floor burns do you have by November?
Too many?
Normally
Yeah.
my
At the
body's
moment, I
covered in
have
bruises.
6. I have my right hip is completely bruised right now. So yeah, we're going through it. But
How do you
it's all
dive
right.
after your right hip's bruised?
You
You just
keep
keep
doing
bruising
it.
it.
Yeah, over and over
Yeah,
again.
you just suck it up. You keep doing it.
Yeah, that sounds like what saying.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, I do have a follow, not a
Yeah.
follow-up to this, but a question about Nebraska and how big the sport is in your home state. To somebody who has no idea, how do you describe how important your sport is in Nebraska?
It's huge.
It's huge. It is the sport of Nebraska.
It really
Yeah.
is. It starts with Nebraska volleyball being as dominant and as good as it has been for so long, and then everything just growing around that. Because of course Creighton also and Omaha, Nebraska, is super good at volleyball too. So that rivalry helps a ton.
And then it goes down from the club level.
Yeah.
It's super competitive club wise in
Yeah,
Nebraska,
big time.
and that translates and it travels everywhere. So
I think
it's huge.
One of the other things I think about is that all the Division I schools in Nebraska with volleyball all have Terraflex courts. So
Yeah.
super nice, super it's pretty expensive. You got to be pretty well funded, and there's they get a new one every year.
Every year.
And they donate the old ones to the clubs. So then the clubs get to use them as their courts.
my club got Creighton's old floor.
Right,
and
I
stuff.
think you guys have one of Nebraska's, and you have
Yeah, we have Nebraska's old one too.
yeah.
Wow, that's
So
sweet.
everybody
Yeah.
has. It's when during our COVID year when the championships were in Omaha and they had all the teams there. Half the courts are Terraflex because they just have them on hand.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so easy to always go back there because the fan base is there. There's so many people there that
the crowds
love
are
volleyball.
insane. I remember going as a little girl, and I'm like, oh my god,
Well, even
I want
for
to do this
state-
someday. Yeah,
Even for state, 'cause you get to
state
play-
volleyball in high school is wild.
Yeah.
They put it in the huge arena, and it's packed.
Is
Yeah.
it at the Devaney Center?
No,
So-
the championship is.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
your semifinal and
Is
final
in-
games, I
yeah.
believe, are in
Pinnacle.
Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then
That's wild.
it's crazy.
Bob's pretty rocking.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I remember, I think this was before your guys' time, but we went back to Nebraska because Carly Remmers was
I
there.
We were
watched that
both
game.
there.
Were you both
Yeah.
there? Oh,
we were
no
both
way.
watching that game.
No way.
Yep.
Yeah, it went as you would expect it to go because Nebraska's
Yeah.
so good.
Right.
But it's just insane. The whole it's
Yeah, it's an
literally
atmosphere.
it's
It's
sold
crazy.
out, lights out. Everyone's got phones and they're blinking and
Oh, yeah.
stuff. And yeah,
It's a big deal.
yeah.
They definitely take their Nebraska volleyball very seriously.
Well, I do like too because not every Nebraska girl can play for Nebraska.
Yeah.
So when they come back, you guys get a standing ovation because you're from the
Right.
fans because you're from Nebraska, which I
Right.
thought was really
Yeah,
cool. Is that
that's
something
cool.
you guys would love to do?
Oh,
Before
I
you
would
leave
love
here?
to do that.
I
yeah.
if we could manage to do that next year would be an absolute dream come true.
Yeah.
It's just being back there, being in front of that atmosphere, because I know how much even just the fans care about people from Nebraska.
Yeah.
It'd be super cool.
Yeah.
So, were you guys just invited to that Ohio and Nebraska game, or was it just because you just saw it on the schedule? You're like, hey, we should go.
Yeah. I knew it was happening, and then
Okay.
it was Dean at the time. I talked with him and all the players at the game because I was already committed. So I'm like, oh hey guys, and watched it.
Yeah,
It was great.
I think Maggie told me it's hey, we're playing in Nebraska, you should try to get there.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I talked to them a little bit afterwards, but
Yeah. That's
So.
really cool. Wow, that's kind of really cool that you guys were there. I had no
Yeah, it
idea,
is.
but
Yeah.
it was a fun environment. Yeah, but I just wanted to ask because I know in Nebraska it's crazy.
Yeah.
When the
Yeah,
Final
it's
Four was in
insane.
Columbus, I think even though Nebraska was out of it,
Mhm.
everyone from Nebraska
Was
still
still
showed up in
there,
their
yeah.
Cornhuskers gear and they just watched the championship.
Yeah.
it's insane.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But love it.
Yeah. No, for sure. Of course. So, well, guys, thanks so much. I know you have a lot of time until practice even starts, but sorry we didn't keep you until then. But
It's okay.
we didn't realize you started at 4. But hey,
Yeah.
why not?
Go beat Miami.
Yeah, go beat Miami.
Yeah.
Good luck this weekend.
That's the plan.
Friday
the
and
plan.
Saturday. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, Al.
Big thanks to Sam and Tria for their time today. They're preparing for Miami. They practiced immediately after this interview, so we appreciate them sneaking in here for a little bit and and chatting with us and going off the rails. Some Parents Weekend information in terms of tickets. Schulze, you wanted to mention that, and then we'll get into Chip Cox and the Canadian Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, this is just my plug to buy tickets this weekend. It's going to be Parents Weekend, so if you haven't gotten your tickets, you should probably get your tickets pretty soon if you want your parents to have decent seats, which you should. Buy your parents good seats so they're nice to you and buy you dinner afterwards.
That's fair. Pay for some other things,
I have
too.
bought my in-laws' parents tickets already, so that's cool.
Yeah, buy your parents tickets, and they'll be nice to you. Take care of your parents.
Yeah. And Parents Weekend's always fun. It's always a good crowd.
Yeah.
It's always beautiful out. I think it's supposed to be beautiful Saturday.
Yeah, it's supposed to be nice fall weather. It's going to be cool. Won't be as hot.
It'll be good last Jake Ramada football game.
Yeah, it will be. I'm fingers crossed for a win. Calling volleyball on Friday night. Hoping for a win there too. Hoping for a fun tailgate show. That'll be so. Come on by Hospitality Village, and it'll be a good time. But let's move to Chip Cox because this is a huge honor. Yeah,
Chip Cox was inducted in the CFL, Canadian Football League Hall of Fame this year. First year of his eligibility.
Cool.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
It was him and 7 other people. Just a little bit about Chip. 13 seasons, all in Montreal. He had the 4th most tackles in CFL history, 979. Defensive Player of the Year. Won the Grey Cup twice. Appeared in the Grey Cup 4 times.
Wow.
I mean, he was an All-Star 4 times. An East Division All-Star 6 times. He was great at Ohio.
Yeah.
Really had an unbelievable career in Canada, and we wanted to congratulate him, and it was awesome to watch his career unfold, and it's a great honor to be in that class in Canada, and we'll hopefully have him on the podcast soon. Somebody will,
which will be
video or something.
Yeah, which would be fun. I believe that's it. That's all we really need to cover, and with that, I mean, hopefully we'll see you out in Athens this weekend, tailgating or something, volleyball or something, at soccer or something.
We're going to walk around the tailgates.
Yeah.
I like cookies and donuts and beer. So if anybody has any of that, I'm looking for that.
Yeah, tweet at Mike
We got
Schulte.
Chick-fil-A from George.
Yeah, shout out George.
Shout out George. We got Chick-fil-A from George at his RV. He had the cross-country team out to his tailgate, which was awesome. And then I think they snuck over to Hospitality Village for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, George, thank you. I know he listens now.
Yeah, he does.
So this is my thank you, and I might come by for some mac and cheese.
Yeah, we'll see him Saturday for
Chick-fil-A
sure.
mac and cheese.
Yep, of course. All right, that's it. Thanks for listening to BobcatTracks. We'll talk to you next week. Bob Bolden and Mike Schulze featuring Jake Ramada. Goodbye.
Bye forever.